Okay, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Derelict Watcher. We are here for game number 2 of this best of 3 and spawning in the southwest position as the Red Zerg player. From Team Jin Air, it is True, who went for the hatchery first, into another hatchery, into speed, Baneling bust, and it wasn't quite enough. But his opponent in the northeast, the orange, the Naranja Terran from Samsung Galaxy Con, it is Reality. I want to see him do that again without being massively ahead. It's not so much just my normal caster bias of wanting to see interesting things, because I think everybody loves to see interesting. Oh God, did I speak too soon? Did I speak too soon? Okay. Okay, I think since he sees the barracks, the gas is being taken, so it should be Reaper. I don't think True's gonna hatchery block his opponent's natural, but if he did, I'd lose my shit. Okay, he's gonna take his own natural. I think if there was a command center first, he might have actually just gone balls deep on that, but almost kills the SCV. Close, but no cigar. Now True will back off. But if you guys missed game number 1, Reality went for Reality just kind of did a standard 3 base off a command center first, the standard 3cc setup. But True went double hatchery before spawning pool into a super big Zergling Baneling attack that killed a lot of SCVs, but none of the production and none of the army of Reality. And then Reality moved into a Marine Marauder Thor Hellbat setup, which I actually kind of liked. I think it's kind of interesting to see that setup used, since it's still the standard 2 factory that you would get off of a biomine. But I'm probably just obsessing over it a bit too much. He really likes to wall off this natural very quickly. I'm noticing this about Reality. He did this in the last game. He's not as worried about the main wall off. Even going with the Reaper play, he's not as worried about it. So there's the Reaper going out to scout. The gas is still ticking quickly for True, but it's not that fast third hatchery, which means, well, he could still go for the same attack as last game. It's just going to come a lot faster. This is looking a bit more Startail Life-esque. The super fast lings, the ling speed, and he actually has 6 queued up, which I don't think is bad. Sometimes you'd say, well, 6 Zerglings can be aggressive, but at the very least, the 6 Zerglings will buy him some time to keep this Reaper away. If he only builds 2, then it's very easy for Reality to microverse the Zerglings and pick off a lot of workers unnecessarily. So he's stutter stepping. He's doing what he can. The Zerglings regenerate health too, though. Does finally grab 1 kill. The Overlord makes its way inside of the main base at the same time, and I'm just keeping my eyes on this Reaper because why not? Getting a drone kill is always nice, but alas, not everything that we wish for in life may come to fruition. More Zerglings in the production tab, though, as speed gets closer. This could get funky. The factory is about to finish with that reactor, and the Overlord has seen everything. The natural about to finish up as well. Ooh, Reaper gets very low on health. He's going to catch, I think he's going to catch this Reaper. He might try to wait for enough health to regenerate that he can escape, but I think one Reaper will die. Oh, both Reapers actually going to die. Oh, if that escapes, that would be a huge mistake. No luck there. And he should have seen how many Zerglings were coming. So this all comes down right now to how prepared he is. He does not have a wall for his main base. He needs to wall off his natural. I think these Zerglings might just kill him. Yeah, he's just going to wall off his main. I think he realizes, Reality's like, oh, I screwed up by losing those Reapers. Yeah, so the Zerglings will run in here. This third command center, there is absolutely no way that finishes. Immediately cancels. This orbital command will have to be lifted when it completes. This supply depot will die. And True, he's getting in there with that fast aggression. Behind this, lots of drones, 9 on the production tab. And he's like, yeah, you're going to have to make like 4 to 6 Hellions before you even try to come down this ramp. Or I can just jump right on top of you. And as I say that, he cedes his aggressive position and backs off. Third command center is restarted, though. And True sees this. He's like, okay, I see a third command center. The Hellions getting to work on these rocks. You can just see the toasting fires moving over this. Really funny to see these flames come from nowhere. But there's the third hatchery for True. Not really unusual. Taking a third gas So this game could head into a more standard setup very soon. I wonder if Reality builds 8 Hellions like last time, or if he only did it because of the Baneling attack. Yeah, he's not going to build more than 6 Hellions this game, which I can't fault him for. Immediately going to get that reactor. No second gas yet. Usually we see a second gas taken a bit earlier for Terran. I like that Reality is playing this a little bit differently than I think anyone watching really expected. But it's neat. This game's taken a weird turn from a normal standard game, but it's not as crazy as the last one, at least not yet. The upgrade timing should be very, very similar, rather than grossly different. But that being said, the second gas is so late. Engineering bays are starting as the evolution chambers are about 70% done. So I still feel like this will be a much more normal game than the first of this series, but we'll see. Mostly just waiting now. The Hellions are moving across the field. So Reality's finally gotten a wall up. He's not as worried about the attacks as he was maybe a couple minutes ago. The 1-1 immediately begins. The starport's on the way. So both players are just setting themselves up for this mid-game. There's nothing really crazy about to happen anytime soon. You can kind of tell, though, that True is really focusing on his creep spread. He has 5 queens on the map, and he hasn't even moved one. He's actually taken one off one of his bases. Yeah, there's no queen at the natural. He just really wants to spread the creep, and these Zerglings try to do the counterattack. They swung around where the Hellions were positioned, just trying to get a little bit of a run by. And if these Zerglings break into the natural, that could almost be game-ending with the number of SCVs that he could kill, with almost really no investment but the Lings. Third base is beginning to get saturated. But I say 3 queens. The ability and energy for him to just plop down tumors left and right is actually pretty nice. And the third command center is being moved out much earlier than we saw on the last map. So this is just looking like a much more standard Terran versus Zerg. It's important to keep in mind that True can't afford to risk too much, since these are, I believe, still, at least in this stage, the qualifier single elimination brackets. If True loses this game, he's eliminated from the qualifier, and Reality will advance on. So there's some stuff on the line here. As the lair is done, Spire begins. Baneling Nest is about halfway complete. So he'll be able to start Baneling speed as soon as the nest is complete. He'll also be able to immediately begin the 2-2. The armory is going to be done well ahead of time. And the only thing that I'm waiting to see right now is, based on the lack of usage from this factory, are we going to get Hellbats again? He hasn't started anything. Maybe when the armory is complete, we'll see Hellbats. I want to see it. Just because it's different. I just like variety. But the Spire's halfway done, and these Marines. This is so important in the mid game stage. Reality just going to pick up some creep tumor kills. Baneling speed beginning. The 2-2 could be started now for True. This Spire is actually, never see it get put in such a vulnerable spot. And yeah, Hellbat production on the tab again for Reality. It's neat. The neat thing about going Hellbats rather than Widow Mines is you can get your upgrades and medevacs out a little bit more consistently than a normal Terran versus Zerg build without needing as much gas. And he can put that extra gas into, like the Thors that we saw on the last map, but you can also put him straight into getting the upgrades a little bit sooner, getting consistent medevac production so you don't get gas blocked. And even with this Viking to pick off stray overlords, it's just nice little touches. The 4th base is done for True. And True's creep spread, holy shit, this guy has creep everywhere. He's not just reached the halfway point of the map, but he's basically covered his half of the map. This is good creep spread. And Reality is forcing it back as much as possible. I think a lack of units makes defending the creep a bit harder. Baneling speed is going to be done at a very good time this game, but it's kind of Reality's job at this point to try to keep this creep back. Yeah, that's actually it's really nice. The vision that he has in this army is so big. But the continued Hellbat production's coming in. 2-2 is halfway done for both players, so no advantage there. Second factory will complete soon, as well as Burrow. And there we see that creep immediately being replanted. This is something that True needs to do. He can't let this creep get knocked all the way back. Here come the Marines. A couple tumors will finish, so he'll force out at least another scan or two. And there is that scan. Misses both active tumors on the south side. That is incredibly important. And Reality not able to get all the tumors. Okay, so he scans again. Just forcing out the scans. It's kind of like a Terran economy denial, but Reality is so close to actually maxing out now it's not as big of a deal that he has to spend the scans because the resources can't be spent. And we're seeing, oh, Baneling mines being placed. Ooh, true. Oh, snap. Wow, okay. Wow, I turned the camera on there and you just walked away. Cool. Hellions are moving along the left side. He's seeing all this creep. He's like, damn. Oh, doop, 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 doop. Wow, that was unfortunate. He could have killed so much more. 14 Mutalisks on the production tab, 4 true. A couple Marines and Hellbats getting dropped on the south side. And the thing is, Banelings, they're slower than Zerglings. So those Lings, if the Zerglings get there too far ahead of time of the Banelings, then the Hellbats just kill all the Zerglings. And I really like that Reality is staying on his opponent's side of the field. He's trying to stop this creep from crossing that midway point. Great split, actually. Denies these Banelings any damage. The Hero Viking's still out there. I'm wondering if there's any more burrowed Banelings on the map. Just trying to see real quickly if any of these choke points have them. A couple Banelings here. Trying to clear this tower out. And Reality has a pretty strong force. One thing to note that's, I think, very important is Reality has not begun any type of Thor production. Probably because he hasn't seen the Mutalisks. But he does need to be careful. These Hellbats are good versus Zerglings, but the weakness of this style versus Biomine is that you don't have as much anti-air. The Mutalisks can still dance around quite a bit and chase medevacs. So he's trying to split his army up and just lead with only a few bio units to provoke him into attacking this choke. But he's also going to hit the backside at the same time. The Zerglings come in, the Banelings, and no, he's actually just going to lose those units. The sensor tower at the front to watch for any counterplay. He's going for a drop at this third. Actually, just one Hellion, but he will try to push the center lane as well. And he's just continuing to scan. This is tough. A lot of the drones have already been evacuated from this fourth base. True is he's in a weird spot. He's continuing to push out Mutalisks. The Queen gets picked off. And, oh, the Banelings running actually some great connections on a lot of these Marines, but there's still just enough to deal with this. The Thor production has begun back home, as well as the 4th Command Center. Medevacs being focused down. The Banelings pick off the Marines, and that attack is over, but the third base is under attack. The Banelings chasing, and will actually kill all the Banelings get expended, and there was still one Marine. But Reality's already got another force prepared, and starts a missile turret. That third base is, I think, a little bit exposed to the Mutalisk attack. There might be enough Mutas to kill this. Yeah, he picks out the missile turret without too much trouble. It can be hard to tell sometimes. Tracing on the mini-map. We'll have to lower the wall, let the SCVs out. It's a rough spot to be in, because now the Mutas will go into this undefended natural. There is the Thor here, though. This is the big kicker to try to push these Mutalisks away, but he's actually okay with just trading a few Mutas for the whole SCV line. He does have the supply lead. Still Thors and Hellbats on the production tab. You know, the fact that Reality only built a single missile turret in his third base really left him vulnerable. This is actually an incredible amount of harass. The army supply is still really big, but oh no, if he loses this fourth base, that would be catastrophic. Reality needs to get his Marines over here. Oh, this is not good. So I'm wondering if that Viking was a medevac. We'll be able to save the command center, but True has to be feeling a lot better about himself this game. The only thing I'll say that's now a big problem, +2 vehicle weapons is complete, but more so 3-3 bio is done. There's no infestation pit on the map. True has absolutely no way to get his 3-3 together. He can't begin the hive. He has to win this game with just pure Baneling, Zergling, Mutalisk on 2-2 upgrades. It's going to be so difficult for him to win a cost-effective trades versus the Marines and the Marauders. And these Hellbats, they now, they do a ton of damage to the Zerglings. I think the Zerglings having +2 armor means they will survive with 1 hit point versus the Hellbats. So the Hellbats don't one-shot the Zerglings just yet, but they will kill them very quickly. And tries to go for a counter, but the wall is raised again. Reality, pretty quick actually reaction time, as the Mutas are just looking for a place to attack. And I like this. Send the Mutas over to the right side. He wants to force this back. The Thors are here though, already peppering these Mutas. And the Zergling Baneling army is waiting. I still haven't seen any burrowed Banelings, but tries to attack the fourth. No luck there. And here come the Mutalisks giving chase. The Bioforce. He's going to try to hit this at the same time. Not quite enough, though. There's a lot of the Marauders and Thors were actually blocking the way. The Marines did make it there. Immediately starts 3 missile turrets in the mineral line of that third. And he still needs to be careful. I'm waiting to see if he's planted any more Baneling mines. I don't think so. Still a large army on the north side. These 2 Baneling mines do exist, but nothing grabbed just yet. Trying to give some more chase. A huge Zergling Baneling attack towards that third could do a lot of damage. He's trying to catch this. These Banelings are actually all kind of trapped. The Marines, all he needs to do is just kind of keep these away. He might be able to grab the SCVs at this third, though. The Banelings blow up the supply depots. The Mutas are headed towards the fourth as well. There's still some Lings here, too. Lifts the command center and pulls the SCVs away. Such smart play. Reality barely losing anything to the Baneling attack. The Mutas, though, are at the fourth. He needs to protect this. Just one missile turret immediately gets sniped. One-hit KO. The Marines running back to defend this, but it looks like the fourth command center for Reality will get sniped off. Great pickup. Zerglings making their way into the natural as well. True is not giving up. Some Brood Banelings in the center are also waiting to catch some Marines. And now the production is under siege. There's Mutalisks everywhere. The Zerglings, too. He's supply blocked. He actually can't make Marines to defend this. He's just going to go for a counterattack. Full YOLO here from Reality, and I don't like this at all. He doesn't have really anything to defend against this. The Marines start to come up, but he's lost quite a bit in the process. He'll need to float at his main command center. He's still losing SCVs, and I love this. Burrowed Zerglings in the natural, just 4 Zerglings, but they can do so much damage. Now trying to attack, steps back. There's still a lot of bio. This fourth base, this is the biggest weakness of this composition. You don't have any area of effect damage to actually deal with the Banelings. The Hellbat's not the most cost-effective way to kill Banelings, and as the Marines die, these Mutalisks get better and better. There are actually so many Banelings on the map. It's disgusting. But the fourth base is picked off. There is another base building on the north side. There's still these Zerglings here on Burrow, getting back to work on these SCVs. And of course, these Brood Banelings are just waiting for Christmas. The Mutas are coming in, the Banelings as well. Everything's going to get destroyed here. True, a fantastic catch. And Reality, well, Reality is looking like he will be dead pretty damn soon. This Hellbat's going to town in the center, but everything is just going to be right here to meet and catch this Zerg force. Now, the Hellbats do a great job of picking off these Zerglings, but it looks like True just has too much, overwhelming what is left, and that's it. There's no more income for Reality. His third command center is lifted, barely any income. GG, and True ties the series 1-1. In this best of 3 at the IEM Sao Paulo qualifier.